friends, so today I'm coming to you from my floor, and if you're wondering why, well, read the title, mates, because this is a record collection, alright? Also, on top of it just being, hey, here's my records, I'm also going to be throwing in a little playlist of one song from every single one of these albums onto a Spotify playlist and probably an 8-tracks playlist for all of you. So this is technically a record collection slash Music with Meghan. Music with Meghan is a series I have on my channel where I just like talk about music because I love talking about music. So if you like hearing about music, then subscribe if you're not already. I'm very, very rambly today and I just feel like my head's about to like pop off. So I probably have a lot to say about all these things in this video. So let's go ahead and get into it. So my vinyl is organized from A to Z. So starting off with A, I have my girl Amy. Amy Winehouse is literally a queen. I miss her so much and she's just amazing to listen to on vinyl. When I put on Amy, I'm having a night in for myself. I'm gonna paint my toenails, take a bath, like the whole 9 yards. This is the Hidden Treasures album, and if you're going to get a record by Amy, I would recommend getting this one because it's so eclectic. There's so many good songs to offer. There's a Nas feature on here, which is just amazing. There's a Tony Bennett feature on here, and overall, my favorite song on this record is definitely Wake Up Alone. Just look how good the photography in all of these covers are. Like, oh my god, the inside of it, love that shot. The front of it, can't get enough. Like, we're both wearing our little bandana dues today. Love you, girl. Next we have a hip-hop album. This is A Tribe Called Quest. Rest in peace, Phife Dawg, by the way. Miss you, man. This is the Midnight Marauders album, and I got this for Christmas from my brother, and the back of it is super cool. I just love the graphics. Hands down, 110%. My favorite song on this album is Electric Relaxation. It is so fucking good. Oh my god. A Tribe Called Quest are legends. They're literally legends. They made the rap game so much better. Now for a bit of a change of tone, I have this cool Velvet album. Just like, it actually is Velvet, man. It's amazing. This is the Beach House Depression Cherry album. If you guys don't listen to Beach House, please look them up. I feel like they're reasonably underrated. My favorite song on here is Space Song. Ooh, now we're getting into some oldies. All right, Bob Dylan. This album is called Saved, and I'm pretty sure that it's a live album as well, if I remember correctly. My favorite song on it is A Satisfied Mind. Now for some more hip hop. Yeah, baby. This is Trap Soul by Bryson Tiller. My favorite song, hands down, on here is going to be Exchange. Either that or Don't, because Don't is such a classic. Like, we all know that tune, you know? Now we are going back to the oldies. This is Cat Stevens' Greatest Hits, and my parents actually sent me this like a year ago. I love me some really, really good oldies, and Cat Stevens is the one, man. My favorite song on here is going to have to be... Can I just talk about like a couple for a second? Because Wild World is the first song that I ever heard by him, because when I used to watch Skins UK, it was like they did some kind of remake of it, so that's when I first heard that song by him. I also love Moon Shadow. That's on my Moon playlist actually already, and then I also love Peace Train and Father and Son, so like whatever one ends up on the playlist is going to end up on the playlist, but I can't even pick one right now. Oh my god. Whew. I'm getting really excited about this one, guys. I just got this recently, and this is honestly like one of my most played records right now. I wasn't that heavily into Cage the Elephant before I got this album. This is such a pleasing album cover. The inside of it is all the dudes on a beach, and then the back of it just has... Oh god, that was really bad. Hands down, my favorite song on this is How Are You True. It's such just like a pleasant love song. I just love love songs, even though I've never been in love, but like still, so good. Ooh, this one is also so important. This is Chet Faker's Built on Glass album. And can we just take a second? Just brace yourselves, all right? The Barbie Pink. I mean, are you kidding me right now? This is just incredible. But my favorite song on here is probably Talk is Cheap, because it's just so soulful. Like, when I sing that, I'm just feeling myself. You know what I mean? All right, what is next? What is next? Of course it's gonna be the most beautiful album, right? So pretty. That's actually a super true statement that I just made right there. Like, this is the most stunning album that I have in all of my record collection. This is A Head Full of Dreams by Coldplay, and it has some nice sacred geometry on the front. Really loved their Super Bowl performance, by the way. Was just really blown away. You know, all the flowers. The whole entire time I was watching with my friends, because I think we watched it at Lauren and Jen's house, and the whole entire time they were just like, Meghan, this is so you. Like, this performance is so you. And I was just like, thanks, guys. My favorite song on here is Kaleidoscope. Also, wait, before I put this away, look how great it is. So nice. This next one is a newer one, and this is my Death Cab for Cutie album, and it is Plans. And I actually saw my friend Will post something on Twitter about like his favorite records, and he had some Death Cab for Cutie record, and I was like, why don't I have them on vinyl? Like, I have to go get them. So I did. And my favorite song on here is Someday You Will Be Loved. Sprung back into the classics here with some Eagles' Greatest Hits. I think I got this for like 10 bucks or something at the Melrose Trading Post, and I am so glad that I did, because this is just amazing. Like, I freaking love the Eagles. The Eagles are music that you put on when you're driving around with the top down or the sun is setting and you just want to like dance your pants off. Like, at least that's what I do. Oh my god, there's so many hits on here. It is unreal. Well, Meghan, duh, because it's the greatest hits album, but it's like really hard for me to choose right now. But I'm probably gonna have to pick Witchy Woman. She's got the moon in her eyes. Oh yeah, baby. This next one is Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros' Up From Below album. But let's just take a second for the inside of this. They're just the coolest people in the whole entire world. Like, if I could hang out with one band, it would be Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. They're just amazing. Like, look at the back of this. What are they doing? They're in a desert. I want to be there with them. And I know this is super cliche to say, but my favorite song on here is Home. Such a classic tune by them. Such a great album by them. I'm just like so happy to have this. Next, we have a super cool looking album. This is Erykah Badu, and this is her New America album, and it says Return of the Ankh, or Ankh. This is part 2, and it is the most detailed and beautiful looking album ever. Like, I might take back what I said about the Coldplay album because this is so freaking detailed. It's just like you could stare at it for so long and just realize so much more that you didn't see before. Like, let's also take a second for the inside of this right now. She's a tree. Look at her. Look at her being a tree. Oh, you go, Erykah. The back of it has some moons, and my favorite song on here is probably, I'm gonna say Strawberry Incense. That's a pretty good one. Now we're dipping our toes back into the classics pool for some Frank Sinatra. I got this for like $5 at Melrose Trading Post, and it is That's Life. And my favorite song on it is probably Give Her Love. Frank Sinatra's love tunes make me just like want to get married. Now we have a gift from one of you. Actually, one of you gave me this Weekend in LA record by George Benson, and I think that you like thrifted it or something and you gave it to me because it said Weekend in LA, and it is so freaking good. Like, I almost played this during my room tour because there's a lot of like really good instrumentals on here. He's honestly the shit. Like, I'm so blessed to have this album. Like, I wouldn't have ever started listening to him if you hadn't given this to me, so just thank you. My favorite tune on here is Lady Blue. Now we are getting into a record that I actually got for $1 at Amoeba. This was just like, they have these dollar bins, and I was going through it and I was like, Gladys Knight and the Pips? I don't know who that is, but like $1? Why not? So I took it home, and it's actually really, really good. She's very soulful. The best song on here, in my opinion, is The Going Ups and The Coming Downs. All right, all right, all right. Now we got the Grief soundtrack. This is actually a gift from Riley, aka one of my subscribers. Hey Riley, I love you. It's like a really hard tie between Sandy and Hopelessly Devoted to You for like my favorite songs in this musical, but I'm gonna go with Hopelessly Devoted to You. If you've never seen the Grease movie, please just take the time tonight to like gather some of your loved ones and watch it together, all right? Next, we have another record subscriber gift, and this is the Great Songs of Christmas. And I think I got this with my George Benson record. I only can really listen to it seasonally, but my favorite song on here is Oh Holy Night. Now we got my man James Taylor, baby. Look how just like stunning he looks on this album. Just really prestigious man. Also, the name of this album is Sweet Baby James, and I just love that. Look at him just staring into your soul. You go, James. My favorite song on here is definitely Fire and Rain, because that was the first song I ever heard by him. My parents introduced me to James Taylor, and just love this man. Now we're getting into some like light pop vibes, but not really at all, because Janae is so not pop. Meghan, what are you saying? She is so soulful and great. This is the Sold Out album, and Drew actually got this for me. I have like 2 favorites on this album, but Lion King and Eternal Sunshine, such good tunes. All right, next album. I think I've had this since I got my record player. Like, this was probably one of the first 3 records that I got. This is Jimi Hendrix Boldest Love album, and can we just talk about how incredibly enticing this cover is? And then the back of it is also super neat as well. My personal favorite on here is You Got Me Floatin', baby, because you do. You got me floatin'. That was really creepy. I'm gonna put this away now. Now for another hip-hop record. This is 1999 from Joey Badass, and this reminds me so much of high school. It is appalling. Joey is one of my favorite rappers, and I just love him. All of Pro Era is just like amazing. To pick one song from this album that I love, it's probably From the Tombs. If you don't already have this whole entire album, please do yourself a favor and go get it if you like rap, because he's amazing. Now for a change of tone, John Lennon. This is the John Lennon collection, so it has just really all the good tunes on there. I got this from the Melrose Trading Post for super cheap, so if you live in LA, you should get some records from there too. There's always so many good classics. Dear Yoko is probably the best tune on here. Now we have my man, Mac DeMarco. This is Mac DeMarco 2. He's just such a cool lad, you know? Peace signs all around. I've seen him live before, and he rocks out. out. Like him and his band, they're amazing. I love them. I'm probably gonna have to choose Freaking Out the Neighborhood as my favorite song on here. My runner-up is probably My Kind of Woman though. Also such a great tune. Very interesting music video, by the way, Mac. You're an interesting guy. Now for one of my very, very few jazz records. This is my Miles Davis record, and I was actually playing this in my apartment tour, appallingly loud, apparently. In the comments, you guys let me know that. I'm sorry, by the way. I like to blast my music. I didn't even realize how loud it was playing, and if some of you couldn't hear me. But if you're wondering what vinyl I was playing, it was this one, Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. And my favorite song on here is hands down So What. That's a great tune. I have So What on my iPod too, and I like listen to that when I'm reading. Now for a relatively new addition in my record collection. This is Sad Necessary from Milky Chance, and also saw them at Coachella last year, and they were so good live that I was like, holy shit, I need to listen to them more. You know what I mean? Also, let's just talk about how cute they are. My favorite song on here is probably Indigo, but really, you should listen to all of them. They're great. Next, a true classic in my collection, my signed Mod Sun record. It's really, really special to see Mod on vinyl, you know? Like, I just needed to get this, of course. Look at the back of it, so bomb, and then the inside of it is just as bomb. It's just like, whew, yes. My favorite song on this whole entire album is either My Favorite Shirt Is My Skin or 1970. They're both two different tones. If I'm looking to party, I'll put on 1970. If I'm looking to like feel myself, I'll put on My Favorite Shirt Is My Skin. Now we have my man, Mumford & Sons. This is my all-time favorite album by them, Babel. It is so good. Mumford & Sons is so reminiscent of home for me. Every single time I listen to this, I'm like, I'm in Georgia, you know? And my favorite song on here is Reminder. Also Lover of the Light, I Will Wait, Lover's Eyes, Hopeless Wanderer, you know, just everything. This is kind of a funny album that I have. This is the Napoleon Dynamite soundtrack, and it's literally the funniest album art of all time. Like the drawing, Kip, Napoleon. Oh my gosh, the Liger, are you kidding me? This right here, Kip with the swords. The best song on here is hands down Forever Young Man. Gotta love it. Now we have another album that is very reminiscent of Georgia for me as well. This is Ray Charles' Ultimate Collection. This is the most expensive vinyl that I've ever purchased, and I'm so glad that I did. I think it was like $40 because it was like some deluxe version. It has 28 original recordings, all of his greatest songs. It's a 2 LP gatefold edition, and it's on 180G vinyl. But my favorite tune is probably I Got a Woman because it's so jazzy. I got a woman way over town, let's go to me. Oh, Larry. Ray Charles reminds me of 5th grade. I feel like I might have told this story before, but like on my old MP3 player, I used to have like 5 Ray Charles songs, and while I was going to elementary school, I would literally play them in my headphones. Like 10-year-old me, just like, I got a woman. Next here we have Roy Ayers, and I actually found out about Roy from Tyler the Creator because he's like super inspired by this dude, and I can completely understand why. His music is great. The inside of this is so funny. It's like him holding his feet. And my favorite song on here is I Still Love You. All right, this next album has a bit of a story behind it. I found this at Amoeba, and I wanted to get it because I liked Sun Ra. I like had 2 songs by him on my iPod, and I was like, you know what, he's cool. And the album art is just so neat, right? Not to mention, look at the color of this thing. It's like a mint green. It's just amazing. So I was very excited to get this, and then I take it home, and it is just so noisy. It's like an instrumental album, and it's so overwhelming. It's like, it's not even music. Like, I don't know what I purchased or if I'm listening to it on the wrong like speed on my record, but it sounds so bad. If you want to listen to one of the songs on here, listen to Dancing in the Sun because it's the shortest. I'm like not trying to hate on Sun Ra. Like, I really did like his tunes, but I'm just so confused as to like what I purchased. All right, moving on. Now we are going into Supertramp, and I love Supertramp so much. This is Live from Paris. This is from 1995 apparently, and the best song on here is probably the Logical song. Now we have one of my favorite albums to listen to on vinyl ever. This is the Lumineers album, but my favorite song on here is Slow It Down. It is such a good tune. It's so emotional, and like I used to cry to this album low-key. I still do, honestly. All right, moving on up to The Neighborhood. This is their newest album. It's called Wiped Out, and it's amazing. I think this is the greatest period of neighborhood music that I've ever heard in my whole entire life. Stop pulling my hair, please. And my favorite song on here is Single. Now for yet another movie soundtrack. I got this from Urban Outfitters, and I got it because when I first watched the movie, I was like, all of the tunes in this are so good, and so why not get the whole soundtrack, you know? The greatest hit on this record is Come On Aline by Dexy's Midnight Runners. I'm gonna play that at my wedding, quote me. All right, where are my TOP stands out there? Because I know there's a lot of you. This is the Vessel vinyl, and it is so freaking good. I just love everything that 21 Pilots does. They're so interesting. I'm seeing them this summer, and I'm so excited. Can I just say my favorites? Holding On to You, Migraine, Car Radio, Screen, Guns for Hands, Trees, Truce. Like, honestly, almost every single song on here is my favorite song. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna have to say Holding On to You. All right, now for another Christmas present that I got this year, which is the Wolf album from Tyler, the Creator. This is my favorite album by him because it's so beautifully produced. The back of it is sick. The inside of it is also sick. And here we go. Here's the best part. They're hot pink. Are you kidding? My favorite song on here is probably Awkward. And now, dun 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 dun, my last album in my whole entire record collection. This is the Fools album from Wild Child, and this is probably one of my most played records because it's just amazing. My favorite song on here is Reno, and this reminds me so much of home as well, so I just play this all the time and I just love it. All right, I know this is probably a super long video, so thank you if you stayed until this point. Comment banana down below if you did, and thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, stay smiling. Bye.